Hello students, welcome back to the EGDL video lecture series. Last class we have finished with projection of solids. Now we are going to take up a new chapter today. In fact, we have completed 3 modules. You are left with 2 more modules, module 4 and module 5. Module 4 is development of surfaces and module 5 is isometric projection. In the V2 examination, you have a choice between these two. Okay. Normally, with my past experience, what I have seen is students would prefer to attempt a problem on isometric projection rather than development of surfaces. That's the reason why I am taking up isometric projection first, complete it, and then move to development of surfaces. Okay. So today we are going to take up isometric projection, which is a new topic. Now let me, in my first video, I will be giving introduction about what is isometric projection, and in the subsequent videos I will be solving problems. I will be showing to you. So now you are out of your orthographic projection, you are moving into a new topic. This is called isometric projection. So there are no simple positions, there are no rules, nothing. You just have to simply adopt to some procedure. So most of the things students you learn by watching. So whatever I am drawing on the sheet, please watch carefully, okay, so that you can understand it better. That's the only way of learning in isometric projection. Now I will move on to the drawing sheet. You can come to the drawing sheet. So I have made some notes here. This is isometric projection. I have written the definition first. What is isometric projection? It is 2D representation of a 3D object. How best you can represent a 3D object on a plane of paper is what is all isometric projection about. Okay. So it is a 2D representation of a 3D object. That's the definition. Now some notes for you to take down. Okay, I will give you some time for you to take down these notes. The first topic is isometric lines, isometric axis, and isometric planes. What are they? Let us see here. Now you can look at this figure. Okay, it is just like a cube. You can see 3 lines here. The line OA, OB, and OC. All the 3 lines, they are mutually inclined at 120 degrees to each other, so that the total angle is 360 here. Okay. So these are the 3 lines which are called as isometric axis. I repeat again, the lines OA, OB and OC which are mutually inclined at 120 degrees to each other are called isometric axis. Okay. Then what is an isometric line? Any line which is parallel to any of these 3 axes is called an isometric line. For example, if you see here, this is one line, this is another line. Both are parallel to the axis OA. So they are called isometric lines. Now if you take the axis OB, there are 2 lines which are parallel to that. This is one line and this is the second line. Both of these lines are parallel to OB. So I can call them as isometric lines. Similarly, you have OC, the other axis, the third axis. You have 2 lines here parallel to OC. They are called isometric lines. Okay. So in fact, all the lines that you have in this sketch are isometric lines or isometric axis. Next, the third term is isometric plane. What is an isometric plane? A plane formed using isometric lines or isometric axis is called an isometric plane. Okay. You can see 3 planes here, one a horizontal plane and 2 vertical planes in this cube. Okay. So the observation is that here, if a plane is formed making use of both the inclined axis, if I call OA and OB as inclined axis and OC as vertical axis, the horizontal plane is formed making use of both the inclined axis. So if a plane is formed making use of both the inclined axis, then it becomes a horizontal plane. But if you see the vertical, you have got 2 vertical planes here. These are the vertical surfaces of the cube, lateral surfaces. They are formed making use of one of the inclined axis and then the vertical axis, this one. Similarly, this one is formed by making use of the axis OB and the axis OC. The remaining two lines are isometric lines. Okay, so it is like this. If a plane is formed making use of both the inclined axis, it is a horizontal plane, but when it is formed making use of one of the inclined axis and the vertical axis, then it becomes a vertical plane. So this is an important observation for you. So that is the first topic which I have to tell you as an introduction to isometric projection. So you can make a note of this, or you can take notes of this sheet. Okay. Okay, now I'll move to the next topic, which is called isometric scale. This is a very important topic in this chapter. What is isometric scale? What is its requirement? Here I have drawn a horizontal line OX, and then I have drawn two lines OA and OB inclined at 30 degrees and 45 degrees respectively to OX. Okay, I repeat again, the line OA and OB are inclined at 30 degrees and 45 degrees to the horizontal OX. Now what I have done is, on the line OB, I have taken the actual dimensions. So I have put my scale here and I have marked 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeters, 4, 5, 6, 7 and so on. So I call it as actual scale. When I say 1 centimeter, that is nothing but 10 mm, 20 mm, 30 mm, 40, 50, 60, 70 and so on. So these division points are marked on this line using actual scale. That's why I call it as actual scale. Then what did I do? From the division points, from each division point, I have drawn a perpendicular to OX. This is OX. This line is drawn this is 90 degrees. This line is drawn perpendicular to OX from the division point 7. Similarly, from each division point, I have drawn perpendiculars to OX. So wherever they intersect the line OA, I have called those points as 7 dash, 6 dash, 5 dash, 4 dash, 3 dash, 2 dash, 1 dash. Okay. So whatever scale you get on this line now becomes an isometric scale. Okay. So this is how you have to construct an isometric scale. So whenever you want to measure isometric length of any given length, you can make use of this isometric scale. For example, if I want to find the isometric length of 50, so what I have to do? I have to first mark 50 here. From there you draw a perpendicular. Then from 0 to 5 dash becomes iso 50. In other words, it is isometric length of 50. Similarly, any length for that matter, ISO 40, ISO 60, ISO 70 and so on you can measure. Suppose if you want isometric length of say some 62 mm. So first you will mark it on the actual scale 62 mm. From there you drop a perpendicular. This is perpendicular to OX. It's not perpendicular to OA. Please remember that. This angle should be 90. Okay. So from 62 you will drop a perpendicular. Then you mark that point there. Then from O to this will become isometric length of 62. Shortly we call it ISO 62. Okay. So isometric scale will help you to find the isometric length of any given length. Okay. So this is about isometric scale. Now why do we require isometric scale? I will explain you when I go to next topic. You also have a numerical relation between isometric length and actual length. This is the numerical relation. Isometric length is equal to 0.816 into actual length. As you can see here, the isometric lengths are smaller than the actual lengths. And this is a numerical relation between them. Isometric length is equal to 0.816 into actual length. This actually we will be using when you use solid edge. Okay. But when you are doing manual sketching, we will not be using this numerical relation. We will be using only the scale. Okay, you will see it when we take up the problems. But it is important that you should remember this factor 0.816. You will use it when you do the drafting using solid edge. Now the last topic is what is the difference between isometric view and isometric projection? Okay, I have written here, you can just see, when a 3D object is drawn, when a three-dimensional object is drawn using actual lens. Actual lens means from actual scale, then it is called an isometric view of the object. Did you follow? When a 3D object is drawn on a plane of paper using actual lens, it is called an isometric view. Then what is isometric projection? I have written here. When the same 3D object is drawn using isometric lens, then it is called an isometric projection of the object. So that's the difference between isometric view and isometric projection. Isometric view is obtained using actual lens, whereas isometric projection is obtained using isometric lens. So when you compare these two, isometric view and isometric projection, okay, they look alike in shape, but the size would be different. Isometric view will be larger in size, whereas isometric projection will be diminished in size. Okay, but the shape will be same. So when you are using solid edge, normally we draw it as isometric view first. That means you will use actual lens and draw it. Then there is an option called scale in your solid edge. Okay, you go to that scale option and then enter the scale as 0.816. The isometric view will be then converted to isometric projection. That is the practice you do when you use solid edge. But here you don't have that option. So we have to use isometric lens and draw the isometric projection when you do manual sketching. So whenever you are required to do an isometric projection, it's very important that you should construct the scale first. Okay, because every time you will be using isometric length, okay, for making the object, given object. So that's about the theory part behind it. Now let me show you one graph sheet which is exclusively used for this isometric projection. You can take a notes of this. Okay, now I am going to show you a graph sheet which is exclusively used for this isometric projection. This is called isometric graph sheet. It's available in your sketchbook. If you see at the end of the sketchbook, you will find this sheet. This is called isometric graph sheet. It is used for drawing isometric projections. In fact, this will also be provided to you in the V2E examination. In the booklet that you are provided in the V2E examination, even this graph sheet also will be provided. In the beginning, you will have the normal graph sheets, and later at the end, you will be provided with this type of sheet. This is an isometric graph sheet. Now, what is the use of this? There is an advantage. See, you can see set of lines here. These are all isometric lines that you see here. Even these are also isometric lines. Okay. So the advantage of using this graph is at the bottom, if you see, one scale unit is equal to 8.164 mm. It's written here. In other words, if you measure the distance from here to here, it's actually ISO 10, I can say. ISO 10. That means it is the isometric length of 10 mm. In other words, it is equal to 8.164 mm. So this will help you to straight away take isometric lens without using any isometric scale. But you can take isometric lens of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and so on. Similarly, even this side. This will be ISO, from here to here it is ISO 10, ISO 20, ISO 30, ISO 40, ISO 50 and so on. And also along the vertical axis, from here to here, this is ISO 10, ISO 20, ISO 30, ISO 40, ISO 50 and so on. But even the midpoint is also mentioned, so you can get in the isometric lens in steps of 5 mm as well. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and so on. But if you want isometric length of some 22, isometric length of some 54, then you have to use isometric scale only. There is no other go. Okay. So normally what you do is you will construct an isometric scale in one corner here. When you are making use of this sheet, okay, you will construct the isometric scale in one corner. When it is when the distances are in terms of 5 mm or 10 mm, straight away you can use the graph sheet itself. But if the distances are in terms of 2 mm, 3 mm, 4 mm and all, then you can make use of the isometric scale. Just now I have shown you the isometric scale. This is the isometric scale. This you have to construct at one corner, so that you can make use of this for finding the isometric lengths of odd distances. Okay. So this sheet is available for you in the sketchbook. In case if the this graph sheet is not available with you, you can make the drawings on the plain sheet. Even I am also going to do the drawings on the plain sheets only. But those who have the sketchbook with you, you can start practicing the problems on the isometric graph sheet. That's it, students. The first video is going to be the introduction. Okay. In my next video, I'll start doing the problems on isometric projection. I'll take a short break and come back.